Hi friends, for those who don't know, my name is Nikki. I'm now a YouTuber. Like, subscribe, do all those incredible things because that's what we YouTubers say now. I want to thank you for just even joining, watching this. On this channel, we are the Soul Clarity community. Soul Clarity is connecting with the aspects of you outside of the congestion within the mind. The mind can absorb quite a bit of the negativity, noise, fear, doubt, worry of the outside world and be completely congested with, the world's ideas of who you should be, what you should be doing, blah, 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 blah. So when we connect with soul clarity, we connect with clarity. We connect with who we really are. We connect with our purpose. We connect with our highest levels of fulfillment, so on and so on. I want you to think back to a time in your life where you felt your highest levels of clarity. It could be when you were out with the people that you loved the most by a lakeside. Maybe the sun was going down. This is my version of soul clarity. The sun's going down. You just jumped in the lake. Maybe there's a bonfire, or it could be a memory with, in meditation, and you had these like incredible epiphanies. You just connected with ultimate focus and clarity, your higher self. I want you to think to a memory that brings you joy and fulfillment. That is the feeling of soul clarity. And the beautiful aspect of soul clarity is that we always have access to this. It is who you really are. So this channel is about expanding, consciousness, connecting more with who we really are, and connecting with our highest levels of soul clarity through things like, manifestation, intuition, loving who we really are, loving all aspects of the self. And, today I want to share an experience that I recently had on my journey to strengthen my relationship with soul clarity. I just got back a couple of days ago from a 5-day solitude retreat in Colorado at Taramandala, which is a Buddhist retreat center. So basically you go out to Colorado and you are out in the woods in a really actually pretty cabin, small, but I loved it. And you are just on your own. I brought probably a book that I've already read, not probably, I did. And then I brought a journal, not much else, right? Because I was like, I want to experience all of that resistance that I've been harboring within the soil of my subconscious mind. I'm ready to experience it, see it for what it is, and do the hard stuff. Allow that congestion to show up, realize all of it. And so I'd get up in the morning and I'd meditate for a couple of hours. I'd work out, I'd go travel out in the woods. I would then get back and meditate, do some reading, do some more journaling, and then after that meditate. And then, there was some eating in between and then meditate. So a lot of meditating, a lot of journaling, a lot of, remembering. I don't even know where I was going with that sentence. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Remembering who I am, I guess, right? So through this process, it was challenging. Okay, so let me go back for a second. So the drive there was about 12 and a half hours. That was so beautiful. I actually didn't want the drive to end because it was just so gorgeous, right? 12 hours can seem difficult, but except when you got going a lot, when you have a lot going on in your life, those 12 hours amongst being in the most beautiful scenery, this, that, and the other is pretty freaking awesome because you listen to podcasts, music, silence, phone calls, you don't have to do much. And so something that was kind of cool is I actually drove through New Mexico, and there was a place called Moriarty, New Mexico. For those who don't know, that's my last name, Moriarty. And right now at this second, my phone is right here. We have a family group chat, and my uncle is looking at our family tree to see if my great uncle was the founder. So the founder's name is Michael Moriarty, had a brother named Patrick Moriarty, and in our family tree, we have all that. So I might be related to the founder. Anyway, this is besides the point of today's video. Let me just say, when I was there, I was literally the most stoked guy you'd ever meet. I was meeting people, asking people questions. It was freaking great. Anyway, why are we here? So I went out to Colorado, and it was just gorgeous, 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 gorgeous. And embarking on these 5 days, was challenging. It was challenging because I didn't have anything, in our day-to-day lives, we can be so distracted with the worldly stuff. I mean, something as simple as like getting in your car and listening to a song. And not that that is inherently bad. Nothing is inherently bad or inherently good. It's just sometimes, like, I don't know if any of you do this, where you will get in your car and just play music. You don't even know why you're playing music. It's like almost a form of distraction. And I felt I had begun to do that before I'd left, like just playing music or scrolling on the phone, or there's always, that resistance will show up. And there's always a way to distract ourselves from it. And so this was raw dog in it, right? We were raw. Yeah. So going to, this 5-day solitude retreat out in the woods in a cabin by myself, I couldn't run anywhere. So it allowed this congestion to show up. And it allowed me to apply these spiritual perspectives and these spiritual techniques that I teach my students and my private clients, but even go deeper than I ever have before. Really write out a lot of my trouble, a lot of my own resistance. I actually wrote out a lot of anger, a lot of sadness. I did affirmations on a whole new level where I was able to feel it, immerse myself in the feeling. I was able to identify why I was sad and have conversations for those that are in the spiritual world with people's higher self as if they were already there, and open up my heart. Right? I got to make like weird noises. Yeah, I did, because I was like, I just want to like get this stuff out. Okay? And let me tell you, it was challenging, because what I realized in the midst of these 5 days is that my mind is programmed to feel like a victim when I'm not, right? Like, I was fine. I had food. I was in the beautiful woods. I'm like meditating. I got a book I can reread. But the mind has this default programming. So my job, day 1, I got there on Monday. Day 2 was challenging. All this stuff kind of came up on day 2. Day 3, it was great, because I was like, anytime that little voice would show up within my mind, it's like, hey, you're a victim, you're this, you're that, whatever, I would decide to change it. I stopped succumbing to my fear. And I would just challenge myself to do things I did not want to do. And what I realized is that God is so brilliant. God designed our brain to reward us when we do things we don't want to do, but that are good for us. Don't do things you don't want to do that aren't good for you. Things that we don't want to do. And I don't even say we don't want to do. The brain doesn't want to do. The ego doesn't want to do. But your heart self desires to do. And I'd feel better. I'd feel more expansive. And so the big lesson I learned in this journey is to lean into the adversity in life. Lean into the things that we do not want to do. And something that I share with my students, with private clients, like if I'm in a session with a private client, one of the things I share with them is I say, hey, we're having a great time here. We're learning a lot. We're collecting a lot of information. We're channeling incredible stuff. The real session is life, is when you're having a difficult time maybe applying this in your life or fully digesting what you've learned. Life is the real session. And I say this to my students in the courses. The real course is life, right? When you learn to develop your intuition and actually having fun, it's one of my rules for intuition. Learn to have fun with it. Don't take it so seriously. In life, when you begin to take life too seriously, or your intuition too seriously, can you apply that tool? Can you practice? Can you set the intention to grow? That's the real course. And so for my case, what I realized is that the real retreat now is today, is right now. Because after the retreat, I had a couple days where I felt sort of like loopy in a really beautiful way. I had an immense level of gratitude for people that are in my life, my phone, believe it or not, because I'm like, my goodness, we're just so used to this thing, and it's mind-blowing. I had just immense levels of gratitude for nature, my purpose, the struggles that we have in life. I realized, it's something that I teach and I share, but to have this deeper understanding on an emotional level of, wow, every single thing, even the most difficult adversity in my life has been this remarkable gift to bring me back to me, for me to realize me, the beauty in me. And when you realize the beauty in you, for me, realizing the beauty in me, you get to experience more of the beauty in others. And that's what I learned within these 5 days. And again, a lot of this stuff, and I'm sure you guys know this being on the spiritual path, if you are, is that you can just consciously know certain lessons, but it's one thing to fully digest them on a nervous system level. Like it's a different level of, I get it, right? It's one thing to go, oh yeah, be grateful for your family and your friends and this. But when you have this sort of extreme contrast going from being out in the world on the phone and friends and this and that to going out in the woods with nothing but a journal, it is, you start to go, oh my gosh, the people I love in my life are worth more than $1 trillion, but you feel it in your heart. You actually feel that level of gratitude in your heart. And so I had all these realizations. I rearranged my intentions. I began to go deep into some of my deeper wounds that maybe I healed 88%, but there's that 12% that is still there. And that's, something that we can get into. But it was just like, wow, even if I'm not quote unquote enjoying life, I have this higher self that is enjoying life, that does love this experience, even when it feels like I'm not. And that was one that was, sort of a breakthrough for me. It was like, oh my gosh, like I have this higher self, which is who I really am, that is enjoying this life experience, even when it feels like I'm not, because it's collecting all this data and this information and all the troubles that we go through. We are able to then communicate this to the world and articulate this in the world for other people to apply the lessons that you've learned in your life. And that's how we grow and expand together on this planet. So I don't want to sugarcoat it. It was challenging for me. Straight up, those 5 days were challenging for me. And I probably will do it again. I'm thinking I'll do it longer. Maybe for like 18 days, but I'm going to really prepare myself for that one. And I'm realizing that, for me in my personal life, I'm stepping into a new season of the self. And when you watching this are stepping into a new season of you, destruction happens, right? Because you gotta create space for the new. And you gotta clear out the old. So these are old perspectives, old personas, old ways that you see yourself. Right? It's a new connection with these divine masculine and feminine parts of who you are. And I'm stepping into that, but it is a shedding of the old, and this experience at this Buddhist retreat center was so reflective and it was all of the congestion, again, that I've been avoiding to create soul clarity all showed up at once. And there was I like the universe wasn't letting up on me, meaning I've heard of people going to these Buddhist retreat centers and going for like 21 days. And one person was basically saying on day 4 or 5, they just went into like bliss. I didn't ever get that. And that because I did after, right? On the couple days, like leaving, and because I explored Colorado like the day I left, and I was on a high. And so my point is that we are truly like under hypnosis to think that we're not valuable enough, not good enough. And it all is rooted from childhood, right? There's something in our childhood that caused us to feel not valuable and not good enough. And so the ego has a job to protect you. And the ego is going to go, okay, do this, that, and the other. Go extract something from the outside world. Okay? Validation, a thing, right? Like a nice car or money or a career. And then you'll be more valuable because it has the evidence. It goes, well, look at all these people that have these things. So what I had to begin to do with myself, one of the journaling assignments that I gave myself, and I'm going to give all of you today, is I want you to identify how you desire to feel, okay? This is what all of you watching this are going to do. I want you to find, maybe you're like, I want to feel more valuable. I want to feel more sexy and attractive. That's okay. I want to feel more abundant and more rich. I want to feel in alignment with the mountains, oceans, and stars. I want to feel more connected to my divine masculine. I want to feel connected to my divine feminine. Pick one thing that you'd like to feel more of. This is a realization, a recognition, a remembering journey. We have to create that physiological coherence between heart and brain. All right, this is how we begin to create soul clarity. So here's your homework assignment. We want to get the brain to see the evidence of the thing that you'd like to feel. So if it's financially abundant, I want you guys to actually begin to write out every single micro breadcrumb that could be evidence that you're already in alignment with financial abundance. You see a penny on the ground, write it in your journal. There's two things you're gonna do here. Write it in your journal or your phone, and you're gonna take time to feel the appreciation, generate that gratitude. If you have a phone, write that down. I have a phone, I'm financially abundant. If you live in a home, any kind of home, okay? Write it down. If you have any money in your bank account, write it down. If you're watching TV and someone has money on the screen, write it down. You hear a conversation about money, write it down. Every single thing is going to give your brain the evidence to then communicate this to the heart, and the heart feels it. You communicate it back to the brain. We have what's called an electromagnetic field, or what spiritual people, like we like to call it, as a creator field. It's creating every single thing in your reality. So as you begin to see the evidence, that you're then breaking out of the hypnosis that you're not the thing that you don't love to feel. Okay, this is one step in creating high levels of soul clarity in your life. It is to begin to see the evidence all around you. What I realized throughout my life at this retreat center is I've been running. Okay, I've been running away. I just want to run. I want to hide. I don't want to feel these deep burdens that I felt from childhood. When I was a kid, I felt alone. I felt like nobody liked me. I felt like I was a burden to be around. And I've done quite a bit of healing on it. But if we don't heal that thing 100%, it's going to show up, especially if you watching this are a teacher in the world and you're meant to help others with it. The way that you heal is unique, and you are meant to help other people with this. And so I'm like, look, I want to help other people in the world. The universe is like, okay, we're going to show you these deep, that deep congestion, resistance that you've been harboring for so long in your life. And this is life, right? Everything else is just cherry on top, but lean into that resistance. Do the things you don't want to do. So I had to really go in and be like, oh my God. What I would do is, I'm not going to give you guys this homework assignment right now. I could read you something from my journal. It was actually hilarious, but it was like, F this, F that, F, I hate feeling this, F those mother effers. Like, I just wrote out how I felt. Because what I teach to people, is that your mind is like a garden, right? And in a garden, there are weeds. You have to address the weeds. If you water your garden, let's say positive thoughts are like watermelons and strawberries and sunflowers, and you water all of your garden, it's gonna be great, but your weeds are gonna grow as well. And they're gonna grow deeper until you get to the root of the weed. So these emotional wounds and these traumas that we carry within the body and these energy blocks, they will not go away because you gotta get to the root of it. You can pull it out and it's gonna feel good. It'll grow back if you don't get to the root. So you gotta feel it. My point is, feel it, realize it, and see it, and then we can alter our perspective on that thing. Because nothing is just inherently negative. Everything in this universe has both equal level of negative aspects as they do positive aspects. So this is a perception game. It's about getting the brain to see that these negative experiences were a massive gift from God. They happened for you. And this was my journey. Feeling it, seeing it, and replacing that weed with a new sunflower seed or a tomato seed. And now my job is to water that seed and to step into that. Okay? Because a lot of the spiritual journey, and I think one of my lessons is the thing I'm meant to help a lot of people with, I'd like to help a lot of people with at least, is it's easy to understand a lot of these spiritual perspectives and techniques and things of that nature. It's one thing to implement them 100%, not 88%, 92%. I'm talking about 100%. Nipping that thing in the butt. And I can relate to the soul that's like, yo, I've been doing this and it works and it doesn't work, boom. Man, the stuff that works in my life is the stuff that I'm like, the stuff that I share with everyone is the stuff that works. But immersing yourself in it. Think of a spiritual tool that works like this. It's like going in the ocean. You can go in the ocean, put your feet in. You can go in the ocean and swim a little bit. Or like, there's this place in San Diego that I like to go to. You can actually swim a 1/4 mile down to this cove and back. That is real growing. Literally swimming in the ocean where the sharks are. Going up against your fear. Immersing yourself in it. That's the life change. So with tools and techniques and the tool that I gave you guys today, I just choked on my own breath. But we're good. Okay. We're good. So here's what I want, the challenge. Here's the real tool. Don't just do the tool. Like, oh, and then get back to me. Oh, Nikki, it worked, but it kind of didn't. No. The tool doesn't make you great that I just gave you in all tools. You make the tool great. You get what I'm saying here? Go make this tool. Don't go, I don't know, let's gonna see if it works. No. Make it freaking work. Do you guys get, this is the stuff this is the data I collected through being on my own. It's like, oh, it's not the tools that make me great. I make these tools great. Okay? It's like you can show up to a party one of two ways. Oh, everyone's here this, and everyone here is that, and I'm better than everyone. I'm gonna go hide in a corner. Or you can be like, I'm gonna go meet people. I'm gonna go, boom. I'm gonna go, yes, have fun. Okay? Go make the tool great. Really, don't think of this tool as a one-time tool. Make it a lifestyle. If you want to attract financial abundance, start finding the evidence and feel it. Feel it. And do this, let it become a lifestyle. This is changing the synaptic, like anytime you have a new thought or a new experience, you create new synaptic connections between the neurons in your brain. And the more you do this, you create neural networks, right? A neural network that's in alignment with financial abundance, that communicates this message to the heart. The heart is the greatest electromagnetic field of any organ in the body. You're broadcasting this energy. You're seeing more evidence. Your heart's collecting that data, informs the brain because the heart sends more information to the brain and the brain does the heart. And now you've gotten the brain and the heart on board and you're beginning to align with the frequency and vibration of your dreams and goals. So immerse yourself in this. After my 5 days, I went into Colorado. I went to a waterfall and I didn't want to leave. Like what I decided, I gave myself permission to leave because of this. This summer, I want to go back to Colorado and actually really do it right and just explore all the beauty that Colorado has to offer this summer. Through my retreat, I wrote a ton of poetry. I wrote a song, not at the retreat, but when I left, which is pretty cool about Colorado. And yeah, so again, I'm on my retreat now, because remember, the real retreat happens now. And I'm looking forward to sharing more of the information that I collect through my life, through the lessons, the stuff that works, the stuff that doesn't work. And I want to say this, you're special and unique, and I don't mean that to be like cute or whatever. I legitimately mean it from the metaphysical laws of this universe. And this earth journey is about remembering that, realizing that, connecting with the inherent high level, inherently valuable, incredible you. It's about, this is a remembering journey. We have to begin to realize and recognize we're under hypnosis. The spiritual path is about breaking out of that hypnosis. Right? There are people that will hypnotize people and literally convince them that there's a brick wall that is in front of them that is not there. And they act accordingly. That's how powerful the mind is. So we have to have some self-awareness and go, wow, maybe this feeling of not being valuable or not good enough is simply hypnosis. And I have to find ways to break out of the hypnosis, to realize me again, the power that is me again. It's the least selfish thing that you could ever do, is to give yourself love, see yourself for who you really are, connect with your intuition, learn the laws and the scientific, spiritual, and energetic laws of the universe. It is possible for you to live a life in alignment with you. It is possible to live a life of soul clarity. This is the Soul Clarity community, the Soul Clarity channel. My name is Nikki, and I don't know where I'm going with this. Look, I'm a new YouTuber. I just thought taglines sound cool. But yeah, I want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. And man, you are a special, special, special human. So again, thank you so much for watching this. If you did like this, feel free to like, subscribe. That would be freaking awesome. And leave a comment. Just about anything. Your experience of soul clarity, your experience of having breakthroughs, your experience of loving more of who you really are. This journey can feel difficult at times. So, one of my goals in life is to create community, create connection, and that is where more breakthroughs happen, because we got to do this thing together. Like, you know what I mean? Like, another thing I learned at the retreat, which I've known and I say it all the time, but I learned on a heart level, is you're never alone. Okay, alone is a feeling. You can be on your own, but not alone. Alone's a feeling, but you're always connected. Like, think about your physical body is actually Mother Earth. Your higher self is an expression of the all that is source energy. You can never be alone, okay? So, again, thank you guys for watching this. You're so wonderful. Stay awesome and authentic, beautiful human. Peace out.